So this is a follow-up session to the first lecture that we had. Today is a second class, right? To quickly summarize what happened in our first lecture, we understood the origin of AWS. We understood how the AWS was born, how you do brand distinguish, how different it is, right? It's a fourth generation data center. It has been built on several evolutions and innovations of data centers, right? And we talked about ec2 instance, right? It's a place where you go and create virtual machines. And in fact, we built a Windows virtual machine and we published a sample web page off of it, right? So today we will continue with the same lecture here. We will continue to build a Windows machine, and then I will discuss with you the various aspects of your life cycle of your Windows machine, and then we will move into Linux also. And Linux is also something that we will heavily cover here in the topic. So we'll continue from Windows. Due to time constraint, we could not complete the lecture last in the previous lecture. So today we will complete Windows machine. So I'm going to pull up my Excel sheet here. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear, right? Just reply me in the chat, yes, no. Hey Mahesh, you could have tried with a different theme, Mahesh. This is the examples I told by Adnan. Okay. Right, very nice. So try using this as an online resume, modify all this content here, right? Try to use it like a digital resume. We have two email IDs, two Facebook profile, LinkedIn, two bank accounts we have here, but we don't have a website and we're all IT guys, right? How awkward is this can be, right? So try to maintain a website. Guys, if you have any questions, unmute yourself and shoot. If you have no questions, try to remain in mute. Okay, so let's continue then. So I'm going to go to EC2 and let me plot the chapter today, right? What we did last week. First, what we did is we selected an operating system. This was Windows. We will also work with Linux. And then the next screen that we went into is size. We selected T2 micro. Why micro? Because micro is free. Again, we're going to select T2 micro with Linux, right? After this network, mostly we didn't do anything with the network because it was a first class, so we left it default. And after network, we went to storage. What's happening? Okay, so went to storage. We selected 30 GB for Windows, right? And after this, we tagged our instance. And after this, what did we do, guys? After tagging, security group. Right, we worked with security group. So we had RDP and plus HTTP port opened here. And after this, we reviewed the overall configuration. We launched with key pair. So this is what we did yesterday, and this is what we're going to do today also. We're going to go through all the stages again to build our Windows project. Right, so if you see here, we discussed about regions and availability zones yesterday, and I'm continuously using Mumbai as a region. You're free to use whatever region you want, and I hope people who had 0 instances have got enough quota today. So launch instance. So the tradition continues. I will select Microsoft Windows Server. Next. And if you see the Excel sheet, I'm following the path here. I'm selecting the operating system, then size, then network, and then storage. So this is the trajectory that I'm going to continue today. So T2 micro, Nothing today on the networking screen. I'm okay with 30 GB. I'm gonna call this something like this: Windows machine security group. Now, instead of creating a security group, I can though create a new security group here, and I can open the necessary ports that are needed. Nothing is stopping me from doing this, but I have already created a security group in my previous lecture. So I'll be selecting that security group here, and this was Windows. First Windows project is what we built yesterday, and that is the security group that we will be selecting. A quick review, and then let me launch it. Right, in case if you want to create a new key, if you have lost your old key and if you want to create a new key with the new machine, you can always say create a new key, and you can give right, and then you can download and you can launch in case if you have lost the key. But if you already have a key from your previous class, you can use that key by simply choosing an existing key here, and you'll have list of key if you have multiple keys. I have only one, and then I will launch. Right, so this is initializing. So typically we discuss that this will take about 3 to 4 minutes to come. Right, so let us go back and discuss on our Excel sheet while this is building up. So how many of you heard of a concept called full stack? Right, if you have appeared for the interview, or if you have seen job descriptions, or if you're familiar with DevOps, there's a common terminology that people use called DevOps. So can someone walk me through what is full stack? So what is full stack, boys? So nobody knows what is full stack? Okay, spinning the machine according to the requirement, application, OS, patches. Okay, you're half there. You're half there, Mahesh. What else? Apart from OS patches, and application, what else? Praneeth, are you new to this session, Praneeth? Is this your first class, Praneeth? And Megha, I see. Okay, so do you have access to Google Classroom? Yes, you have it here. Raghunath Praneeth, yes. Hey, you have it, man. You see here, your email ID is added here. Okay, Megha, you're new to today's class. Okay, Megha, you can give me your email ID. I will add your email ID to the Google Classroom so that you can download the lectures. So you can ping me on WhatsApp or something. Okay, fine. You've already given me here. Okay. So there you go. You have access. So Mahesh was partially right? So usually when somebody comes and tell you, hey, do you know full stack? You will say, okay, fine. I know full stack. What exactly you're looking in the full stack, right? Now, full stack consists of 5 ingredients. Like if you cook something, if you make a Maggie, right? If you make a raita, you have multiple ingredients and you make something out of it. So full stack is like that. The first layer of your full stack is your operating system. The second layer of your full stack is your packages. Your third layer of your full stack is middleware, right? Sorry, the sequence is wrong. You will have your middleware, and then you'll have your database, have your middleware. After this, you will have your application package, and then you will have your application. So typically, this is how you 5 layers that you follow. For example, if somebody comes and say, give me a full stack for Windows. So mostly what he's trying to articulate is, so Kaushik seems to be having an issue. Kaushik, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So since Kaushik is done, now let's continue. So if somebody comes and tell you, hey, give me a Windows full stack. So if they're asking for Windows full stack, basically what they mean is they need a Windows operating system. Middleware, they need IIS. Database, probably they might need MS SQL, right? Package would be .NET and some .ASPX application. So likewise, for example, somebody comes and say, give me LAMP stack, right? LAMP stands for L stands for Linux. So if somebody comes and say, give me LAMP, so typically L stands for Linux, A stands for Apache, M stands for MySQL, P stands for PHP, and then you will have some .php application, right? So this could be several stacks here. For example, you can have Tomcat, right? You can have Oracle as a database. You can have Java here as a package and some .jsp application, right? So likewise, you can have different stacks here. Excuse me, there's a typo, right? This can be JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere, and half a dozen different middlewares that you have here, right? Here you can have MariaDB. Just for an example here, you can have Python, excuse me, Boto for Python, right? And you can have .py application here, right? So you can have something else here, for example, Postgres SQL. You can have Ruby. So you're getting my point, right? So if somebody comes and tell you, give me a mean stack, bean stack, meme stack, right? And some developer will come back and say some alien word to you and you don't understand, right? You say, hey, hold on, developer. I know you are asking for a stack. Let's sit and break it down. And you ask, what are the 5 things that your stack will cover? Tell me from an operating system. Is it Linux or Windows? Point number 1, right? So likewise, you will tell him, okay, give me a middleware. What middleware do you want to run? Is it Apache, Tomcat, JBoss? It doesn't have to be in this order. I'm just trying to capture this to represent it. But you can typically have Windows and you can have WebLogic installed on top of it. And then you can have Oracle database, which is running Java. Possible, right? So any one operating system that is required to select in the list, any one middleware, any one database, any one application package, and you host an application. And this is called full stack, right? So do not get confused by different nomenclatures or acronyms of the full stack. You just need to understand, okay, Baba, there are 5 stages to it. You break it down, you ask what are the each stages should contain, and then you build upon it. Or by God's grace, Amazon is capable enough of giving you all this as a service catalog. Pretty much every stack that you imagine and dreamt of, do exist in AWS already. You don't even have to create. You have to explicitly go and search. They're available. You pick it up and you run. Are you with me so far? So in today's lecture, I'm going to also teach you how do you pick up a stack, how do you build a stack, and how do you deploy an application on top of it. Are we clear so far? Yes, 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 no, maybe. Okay. So let's continue further. Let me go back and see what happened to my Windows machine. It is still initializing. Let me give it a refresh here. Action and get Windows password. Password is not available yet. Okay, this is doing its thing. Let's wait for a minute here and then I will log in and we will continue the lecture. In any sequence, okay, orchestration, I have the access. Okay. Okay, so while the Windows machine is getting prepared in the background, we will come back to this Windows use case here. So in meanwhile, while the Windows machine is running, I will show you how do you set up a stack or how do you build a stack, right? And then we will continue. So launch instance, right? So for this example, I'm going to start with Linux machine, bare vanilla Linux, nothing fancy here, right? I have discussed what is Amazon Linux, what it consists of. It is just a derivative of Red Hat. All the Red Hat commands would work, all the packages would work on that, right? So mostly it is everything that you can do on the Red Hat, you can do it on Amazon Linux, right? So for this use case, it is free and it is Amazon Linux AMI that I'm selecting here for this lab. Next, T2 micro again, right? Configure instance detail, not gonna touch network. Storage here, right? It is asking for 8 GB. Some Linux distributions required only 8, some requires 10. I'll give 10 here. And let me go back and update the same here, 10 GB. I'm going to call this Linux project, security group. I'm going to call this second Linux project here, right? And this is automatically identified that the machine that I'm trying to provision right now is Linux. So therefore, SSH port is already open, which is port number 22. I'll open the HTTP port and then launch. So I already have a key. The best thing about AWS is you can use the exact same key for both Windows and Linux. So therefore, I'm going to use the same key here. So this is getting provisioned right now, right? So the machine is getting ready. So in meanwhile, I want you to download two tools. If you already have this tool, great. If you don't have it, then you need to download it. Make sure that you go and visit this website and this website only, right? You will see download putty latest release 0.70. So click over here. Let me share this link so that you guys can also download. Yes, MySQL is compatible with Linux and other OSs also. You can run MySQL on both Windows and Linux. And if your question is MS SQL, the MS SQL new version will also run on Linux now. So the first tool that I want you to download is puttygen.exe. If your operating system is 32-bit, you can download the 32-bit version. If your operating system is 64, then you can download the 64 edition here. So the first tool that I want you to download is puttygen.exe. So once you're done downloading this, The second tool, what you want to do, what I want you to download is putty.exe. This is the second tool that you're required to download. Again, if it is 32-bit, download the 32-bit version. If it is 64, you don't need to worry about administrative rights because this will not install. This is an executable file, right? Once you have downloaded, I'm going to open puttygen, the first tool that I have downloaded. I'm going to open that. Now, why am I doing this step, and why this step is important? Let's also understand that. So the way in Windows I select this, I go to action and get Windows password. I usually do this procedure, right? I don't know why this Windows machine is not launching. I don't know. Okay. So usually the way you do it is in my previous lecture I showed you, you go to action and you click on get Windows password, right? So that step is not applicable in Linux. You cannot select Linux machine and tell Amazon, hey, give me a Linux password. That option is not available. So the way you log into Linux is slightly different. So pay attention. So what is the first thing that you need to do is you need to open this puttygen here, the puttygen utility, go to conversion, go to import key, right? And then you'll be selecting the key that you have created and you have downloaded it. So this is in my download folder, and name of my key is people-click.pem. So you have to look for a PEM extension. So PEM is your master key or a public key. Open. So once you have this, if you see the tool has read your key, it exactly knows what is an encryption that you have, right? Now the second thing that you need to do is you need to convert this key, and this is only applicable for Windows users. If you're using Mac or a Linux operating system to do your lab, or if it is installed on your laptop, this step is not applicable to you. It is only for Windows user. So after this, don't click generate. You don't have to click generate. You just have to convert the private version of this key. The public key you're intaking the public key, and you're exhaling or you're extracting a private key out of it. So all you have to do is click on save private key. Yes. And then type whatever name you want, AWS hyphen access key, right, hyphen Mumbai hyphen private, something like this. So when you save this with the same name and adding private to it, it will be easy for you to correlate from which key you have converted this, right? So it makes your life simpler. And your original key extension was .pem. After converting, the key extension will be .ppk. And then you click on save, your key is generated. And this is only a one-time thing that you have to do. You don't have to do this every time. If you even launch 100 machines, but if you're, as long as you're using the same original key while launching the machine, you don't have to do this step again and again. This is only done once you create a brand new key, right? So once that is done, let me log into the Linux machine. I'm going to copy the IP address here, and I'm going to open the second tool. I'm going to paste my IP address here, and I'm going to go to SSH auth browse, and I'm going to select the key that I have converted. The extension should be .ppk. And if you see here, I already have an extension called .ppk, and this is the converted key that I will be selecting, and open again. Okay, so yeah, sure. So what I will do is I will increase the font size here so that it will be clear for you to see. Appearance, change, make it bold 16. Okay, so this looks a little bigger for you. So what is the default username? Where will you find it? Right, so it is very important that you click on ec2 dashboard. Here you have to go to ec2 dashboard. On the right hand side you have getting started guide. Click on this getting started guide. Everything that I have done in my previous lecture, everything that I'm doing today, and everything that I'm going to show you in subsequent classes comes from here, right? So there's a PDF version that you can download, right? There's also a Kindle version book. So if you click on Kindle here on the top, it'll take you to the Amazon's website where you can download the Kindle version of this book. And Amazon is not charging anything, it is just $0. There's no need of going on various websites paying 600, 700 and buying the books. There's no need of spending money. This is the authorized AWS books that you're getting for free. Just click on this and you buy this now and you don't have to pay this, right? It is absolutely free for you, right? And this is directly from Amazon. You see Amazon Web Services is the publisher of this book, right? The second thing is, if you're an old school like me, you don't like to read books, but you want to have a digital version of that, you can click on this PDF and this will open the PDF version of the book that you can download and you can practice your labs. Let me also share this in the chat so that you guys can download a copy of this. Right, if you see here, step 1 what to do, step 2 what to do, step 3, step 4, right? Everything that I'm doing here is documented as per these steps. You just have to follow the steps, right? So how do you delete those machines? All those instructions are available here, right? So download this book. So I've already read this book, so I don't need to refer, but time to time I will go back and refer just in case if I have forgot the step, right? But for now I remember the steps, so I will continue and let me reconnect it back. For some reason got disconnected, restart session. Okay, so the default username is ec2-user. And if you see, it has logged me in, right? Who am I? I am an ec2-user, right? So this user has limited access. So therefore I would like to escalate myself to a root user. Hence sudo su means switch user. Now if I say who am I, it says I'm root, right? So if I say pwd, where am I? Present working directory, it'll tell me the directory path. Pretty simple, right? Guys who are not familiar with Linux is a very easy thing to pick up and learn, right? I eventually learned Linux in just 6 weeks. It's really easy. Let me show you a couple of other tricks here. Those of you who are from a Windows background. If you want to create a directory, mkdir, and you can give some name here. Enter. And if I do list library, you will have your folder here. If you want to get into this folder, right, you can type this. And if you do ll, you don't have anything. If you do where you are, pwd will tell you the path. The previous path was this. The new path is this. Making sense? Now, if you want to create a file, right, you can say echo. You can echo your voice. Right, so I have my thought here. And then I'm going to put this thought into my notes. If I do ll, I have my notes here. If I want to see what's there in my notes, I'll say cat my notes. Gokul, could you put yourself on mute? Could you send link in the chat box? What link you want me to send you? I've already sent you the link in the chat box. Right? So what is there in your notes? And the notes are available right here. Are you getting my point? So it is pretty neat, right? For example, if you want to install anything, right? So let me see whether I have the server installed. Let me run this IP address quickly. Okay, so there's nothing here. So it says that the URL cannot be reverted. So mostly it is empty. So let me install. So let me clear this stuff. So I'm going to say yum install -y. right? So yum is a parameter that you're passing, right? M is an installer. So it says, okay, so yum, what action, what installation and installation action that you want me to take? I'm saying, hey, install action you take. Install what? Apache, right? So like Windows, you go to a website, you download it, you install. It doesn't work that way in Linux. You just have to tell the package name. It will automatically go figure out where it is. It will bring in, it will install. And -y means I'm pre-approving this. Typically what happens in Windows when you're trying to install a software, you will see a licensing term that says, hey, accept the license, right? So that is what -y indicates, that I'm pre-accepting it so that it should not ask me, should go ahead and install it directly, right? So it is installed now. And if you want to start, first check the service HTTPD status. Okay, the service is in stop state. I will start. Now it is started. If I refresh it, right, Apache 2.2. Now if you want to publish it, it's pretty simple. cd slash var, and this is like program files. If you go to this path, this is mostly like a program files, so you can write anything you want. Let me echo my voice again. Echo working on publishing a website. Working on publishing a website. Something like this, some thought process that I have here. And then I'm going to add this as index.html. Let me go back and refresh this here. See? So whatever I'm doing in Linux, it is eventually coming and publishing it here, right? So it's a very versatile language. Now, one student was asking, hey, right, Linux is an ocean. Can I swim? The answer is no. You will drain. You cannot swim the ocean, right? It is better to stay at shore and catch fishes, right? So how would you learn Linux staying at shore and not diving into the ocean? It's pretty simple. Right, so just have to Google Linux cheat sheet, and this is the cheat sheet that I followed, right? You can follow this Linux cheat sheet. It has all the commands that you need. Only these many commands are required for you to crack. Or let me give you one more. This one here, logis, right? This is a very popular cheat sheet. About 30-40 commands that you have, and only this 30-40 commands that you need to remember. No more, no less, right? Only these many commands if you remember, you will not only do all the day-to-day activities on Linux, you can crack interview also. And if you see only this many commands, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So about 10, 11 topics you have. In each topic, you have 4, 5 commands. That's all you need to remember, and that's it. And you'll also become a Linux guru. Right? So I've sent you a link in the chat box. Please download it. Let me go and see what happened to my Windows machine. Is it still troubling me? Get Windows password. Something is wrong with this. Let me go and create another Windows machine. Launch. Again, Windows Server 2016 base. T2 micro. Something like this to make sure that I differentiate. Since it's a Windows, I already have a security group. I can still use the same security group. Review. And then let me launch it. Let me see. I have no idea why this is happening. Never mind. Right, so the Windows machine is still creating, so we'll still continue with Linux, and later we will focus on Windows once the Windows is ready. right? So this is one simple lecture, right? So this is how you need to set up a Linux lab. I have already showed you how to set up a Linux instance, and once you're done with practicing all your commands in lab, all you have to do is go to action and then go to instance and you stop it. Once you stop it, your meter stops, right? And again later, if you want to start your lab again, you come back and you start your machine, and as soon as you start, you can connect back to your machine and you can start practicing your Linux. So make sure that you practice your Linux, specifically Windows guys who have been hiding from Linux all these years. There's no need to hide. Linux is not bad. Linux is your new friend. Give it a chance. Linux deserves your support. Linux deserves your help, right? Give it a chance and play with it. Now let me go and build a couple of other machines also. Let me check this machine now. Right, so this is a very basic use case. In this very basic use case, all I did is I picked up the Linux operating system and I installed the Apache server on top of it. With two simple commands, I was able to build my one stack. Right, now imagine that I would like to do MySQL, then you can run one more command, right? Yum install MySQL d -y, it will install MySQL. For PHP, you can say PHP 5, it will install PHP, right? So now I'm going to show you how do you launch a ready-made stacks that are available in AWS. So I'm going to click on launch, right? And there are two sections that are available. The first is an AWS marketplace section, right? So I would strongly advise you not to play with marketplace here, because everything that you consume, you have to pay money for it, right? Think as if you have gone to Flipkart. You have gone to Flipkart, right? In the Flipkart, you have bought a TV or some phone you bought, OnePlus. So what will happen, right? Flipkart will say, hey, you give me a money and I will send you a phone. So you pay him money through credit card or a debit card. And then what he does is he will take a small commission and then he will send that money to phone manufacturer, and phone manufacturer will send the phone to the supplier such as Flipkart, and Flipkart will send the phone to you, right? So likewise, we're in a digital world right now. So here you're not buying a physical product, you're buying a virtual product. So what happens is here you say, hey, right, I want some software. For example, I need 10 micro. When you click on 10 micro, it'll tell you the prices here, how much you have to pay for it, right? So what basically these guys does is these guys play like a middleman. So they will take money from you, they'll take a small commission, and remaining money they will send it to 10 micro and they'll buy a license on your behalf, right? So there are a lot of products that are available. Cisco is available. All the Cisco products are available. Anything, for example, anything you put, EMC. So Dell EMC products are available, right? NetApps, NetApps is available, right? Microsoft, all Microsoft products are available, right? Micro Focus, all Micro Focus products are available, right? Typically anything that you run, mostly almost all the softwares are available here, right? So you don't need to break your head, but remember, anything that you pick up from your marketplace, you have to pay money for it. It is not free. Though it may be free to try something like this. If you see here, free trial is available, but I would say that try to stay away from here. Now, can I access this marketplace from outside? Yes. You can go to this website and you can also access this marketplace from outside. Like you're buying a shoes or something, you can buy any software or products that you need here. For example, business intelligence softwares, the DevOps tools. Almost all DevOps tools are available here. For example, if I go to DevOps, let me go back. DevOps. See, almost all DevOps tools are available. right? WordPress is there. It's a content management website. Lamp stack, we just discussed about lamp. Lamp is showing up here. Mean stack is showing up here. There's one more lamp. Jenkins is also here, right? Let's see if we have something from Docker. So Docker host and container hardening by some company that is available. Container by CoreOS. So there are a lot of tools that are available, right? Give some time, explore, but don't try to create or launch anything. For example, if I want to launch something here, I can click over here. And then if I go to pricing, right, the pricing is available here, how much they will charge. This is an EC2 instance cost. This is a software cost. You got my point, right? So the third option that you have is community AMI. Community AMI is like an open source, is a marketplace. Again, a kind of a marketplace where developers like you and me can build something of our own and we can publish it here for free. No monetization here. You cannot take money for publishing your work. But remember, don't take SAP or Microsoft or some proprietary software and you build it and you share it in community AMI. Amazon will block your account. You cannot share anything that is pirated. Pirated are published in the marketplace from the respective product owners, right? You can only put your creation or something that is open source. You can take and you can build and you can publish, right? So let's search for lamp. Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Lamp. And if you see, there are a couple of lamp stacks that are available. Let me pick up this lamp stack. The first one, select. Again, T2 micro. Not gonna do anything here. 10 GB is fine. Just gonna call it as lamp. Right? So I'll be selecting the existing security group that I created for Linux, second Linux project, because both the ports are available there. So I don't want to unnecessarily create multiple security groups. But if you want, you can always create one more. Hmm. भाई वो मेन डोर खोल दो भाई प्लीज. Sorry about that. Guys, is there any background noise seeping in? Okay, SAS Mahesh. SAS also, I think it is available. SAS is also, I think it is available. Yes, SAS University Edition is available. Right, and this is published by SAS themselves. Get a free SAS software for teaching and learning statistics, quantitative methods. Okay, so this seems to be a free edition. Pricing. So they're only charging you for EC2 instance. Software is actually free. So Mahesh, you can launch this instance. Right. So let me go and review here quickly. Lamp. Right. So let me check the IP address and see if I have anything running on top of it. Okay, it is loading. Copy. New session. Mm. And let me select my key here. Again, PPK key, open. Let me increase the font size, appearance, color. Okay, so the username again, remember, I am not launching default Amazon instance. I am launching this instance from a third party vendor, right? So the third party vendor, I have done this lab before and I've read this documentation, right? So how do you know who is making this instance, right? It's very simple. When you go to launch instance and when you go to community AMI, and when I was searching for LAMP, these guys have given their website. Whoever stack that I'm using, they've given the website. I've gone to their website and I've done the research for the username. So I know the username. The username is Bitnami, right? So I've logged into the instance. Who am I? I am Bitnami. Again, I'm going to do sudo su and I'm going to escalate myself to root user. Who am I? I am root now, right? So I'm a root user. Let me see whether I have anything. Okay, so what they have done is they have bundled a default page with this. And if I click on access my application, I don't have anything here. So this is basically a dummy page. So what I will do is I will delete this and I will start from clean slate. cd/opt Bitnami Apache to htdocs. And if I do ll, excuse me. Okay, these many sample files that I have. So I'm going to get rid of them quickly. So if I do ls, nothing now. So if I refresh, everything is gone, right? So let's go and look for some software here. We were looking for DevOps category and we saw WordPress there. So I'm going to pick up a WordPress. Word. And then I will go to get WordPress and copy this link. So now if you want to download anything from the internet, all you have to do is type wget and then you paste the URL. Right. So if you see here, http://wordpress.org/latest.zip. Let me hit enter. And this is downloading the software. Now if I do ls, there's a file called latest.zip. This is the name of the package. So I need to unzip this. Unzip latest. And if I do ls, right? So there's a problem right now. What it has done is it has created a WordPress directory under my htdocs directory, right? Now, why this is a problem and how we can solve, right? First, let me show you. So if I type the IP address /WordPress, the installation will show up and you don't want that to happen. All you want is if you run the IP address, a website should run. That is what you want, right? So therefore, to fix this, what I will do is I'll get into the WordPress directory. How many of you are not from Linux? Saddam, Praneet, Mahesh, Kaushik Reddy, Devi, all of you are not from Linux. Meghana, Praveen, Zorul, so remaining are from Linux. If you are aware of something, okay, right? So I will explain you, and don't worry, Linux is very easy. By the time we complete the training, at least you will have some portion of Linux knowledge. So now if I do ls, right? So these many files that I have here. So what I want to do is the files that I have here, I want to move to here, right? So to do that, I will say move mv, move what? Move everything move where dot dot slash. So if you say dot dot slash, it is one directory behind. If you say dot dot slash 2 times, it will go to 2 directory behind. So I just want to send one directory behind. So the content that I have here is moved to here. Now let's test. Nothing here. If I go a directory behind and test here, all my content has come here. And if you see the directory path, I'm in htdocs, and this is very important. So let me go another directory behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the necessary permission to the directory. So chmod stands for change mode. It's a short form of change mode. There's no need of writing it change mode as a full. You just write chmod and Linux understands that you're trying to change. Now change to what? What are you changing, right? What permission that you want to give to the directory? I will say 777 stands for read, write and rewrite. And hyphen capital R stands for recursive, means apply for subfiles and folders. To which files and folders? This one. I have given all the necessary permissions. Now let's go back and install. A quick IP refresh. Let's go. Right. Database name MySQL. Right, because it's a LAMP stack, remember. So M stands for MySQL. Username root I will give. It is asking for a password. The password is actions. So get system log. And the password is right here. Let me copy this. Okay. Right. So database name is MySQL. But default username is always root for the database. Password I have got localhost, yes, because the application is installed locally. The database is also local. And WP is a standard prefix, right? The WordPress has a style, because if you see here, every file they create, they give WP as a name. And after that, they give the file name. For example, WP content, WP admin, WP blog. So when they're creating database also, they want to create with WP hyphen all the records. So I'm going to leave that default, and then I'm going to click submit and run the installation. I will say this is my fashion blog, just for fun. Username is admin, password is also admin. Weaker password is fine. I'll give my email here, and then I will install it. There you go, guys. So my first website I have published, a content management system. Who uses this? Everyone in the world. Nobody sit and writes HTML codes. Everyone use some sort of a content management system, and they publish a site out of it. Let me show you how does a front end would look like. So this is my front end of my application or my blog. It says fashion blog here. Take a look at it. And let me give you a link for a backend. Right, username is admin, password is also admin. Give it a try, guys. See how is it. I'll give you 60 seconds. Play with it quickly. How it is, guys? Guys, is it working? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, maybe. Right. So let's try to build one more project here. Mm, let's build a little complication. Let's bring a little complication here. Let's try to build a CRM application. So CRM is customer relationship management. Those of you who do not know what is CRM is, let's assume that you bought a shoes from Flipkart and the size is not right. You want to call complaint or something else you have issue with. You call Flipkart, right? So you'll talk to a Flipkart representative. You will discuss, hey, I have a shoes problem. I want a refund or replace the shoes for me. And evening, he will say by evening you will this will be resolved, and it is not resolved. So you call up Flipkart again in the evening, and you happen to talk to another gentleman. But when you give them a case number, they exactly know why you're calling for. Right. So this is one use case. It could be Airtel, Vodafone that we are looking at. Network issues, you call, you complain. If you call some other time, they exactly know why you're calling for. So that is called customer relationship management. It's a software that everybody uses. For example, your training centers where you have enrolled, right? So they have onboarded you. They have your first name, last name. They have your phone number, email ID. If you have given your address, they have your address. They have your invoices, payment receipts, everything they have captured in the CRM. So even after 2 years, when you call back the same training center, they can look into that and they exactly know which batch you attended, who was your trainer, how much fees you have paid, did you discontinued in between, or have you taken revision, was there any refund processed, right? All that details they will capture. So today everybody maintains CRM, right? Last use case is spare parts, automotive, right? If you have a two-wheeler or a car that you take it for a service center, right? So once you're done with the service, they'll give you a bill and they will exactly document what vehicle you gave, when you gave, what parts they have replaced, what service they have done, who was a service technician, what part it was replaced, right? How much bill you have paid. When you come back next time, the records are still maintained. It's a very common thing that everybody uses CRM. Let's try to build our own CRM for whatsoever use case that we have. So what I'm going to do is there are again the two simple ways. The first way is I can click on launch instance. I can go to community AMI. I can select LAMP and I can continue with the process by selecting this machine, and then I can go through all 7 stages, or there's a shortcut that I can use. All I have to do is click on LAMP here, go to action and click on launch more like this. So what this will do is it will pre-select everything that I need. The same machine, the same security group, all those ports, storage size, everything it will pre-selected for me. And all I have to do is launch. Pretty simple, isn't it? While this is launching, I will delete the old server. Now, you don't want to delete this. Yeah, I have done a lot of hard work. Can I take a image of it, or can I copy the whole changes that I have done? Can I take a snapshot? The answer is yes. All you have to do is click on image and then click on create an image. And you can say WordPress project, and probably can put today's date here. That will be 20-11-, right? And then you can tick this no reboot required and then click on create image. So that's it. So what this will do right now is it whatever the changes that I have done, just to avoid confusion, I'm going to label it as 2 here, right? So whatever changes that you have done, such as building a website, configuration, login details, and other thing will be captured. So next time when you launch that image, you don't have to install anything. It will be in its original state. It will have all the application and everything that you have configured. Everything will be preserved. Now, where can you see this? right? It is not showing up here. So where is your snapshots? It is in AMI section. So if you go to AMI, you will see WordPress project is getting created and the status is pending, right? Usually it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. So let it create. We'll come back to this in a moment. So in meanwhile, let me log into the second LAMP machine, copy the IP, new session. I'll paste my IP here, go back, auth, browse. Again, my same key, open. Okay. Again, the username is bitnami sudo su and cd/opt ls. Right, it has all the sample files, and there you go. Access my application. I don't have anything. So let's clean this off. Again, the same command rm-rf, and then you press star. Right now, if I refresh it, there will be nothing. It's gone. Clear? So now let's go and look for CRM application. Open source CRM. Okay, there's one here. vtiger. And download, copy link address, and the same thing, boys. Webget, wget is webget. You paste it and hit enter. It's a 56 MB file downloaded in 12 seconds. Amazing. Now, if I do ls, there's a file that is available, but this is tricky. This is not in the zip file format right now. They have used different compression technique. So to uncompress this, we will type tar hyphen zxvf hyphen space the file name, right? Because it's a tar and gunzip, we have to use tar and this command here. Hit enter. Again, the same situation here. It has dumped all the file into the vtiger CRM directory. We have to bring the content back to htdocs directory. So let me get into this directory here. And there you go. I have all my files. Move these files to a directory behind. And then I'll go to directory behind and give the permission to the directory. Right? So now let's go back and install this software. Refresh. Next. Next again. Okay, this is a little tricky here. Indian rupee. Admin. Adnan. Okay, and this will be mm, okay, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai. Okay, host name, uh, local host, username is root, database name is MySQL, and the password is from the system log. Action, system log. For every machine, there's a different password. And this is the first time you get to see. After that, you will not get to see. Copy this and paste it here. Next, not required. And next again. That is asking what industry I am in. Agriculture, automotive. We discuss about automotive use case. Banking again. Call centers. Call centers will use this. Airtel, Vodafone, Flipkart. Computer software consulting. Education we have. Let me check a couple of more. Okay, Food Panda. Those guys can use. Insurance companies can use this. Uh, Transportation, services, security, retail, non-profit. I think I come under education. I come under education. Education. And next, and it is installing. What would you like to use vtiger CRM for? I will select all. Almost done, got it. So there you go. My application is ready. The default tab, nothing is here. My dashboard, nothing is here. How does this damn thing work? Okay. So campaign, organization, product, vendor, document, opportunities, lead, ticketing, contacts. What else? Calendar, it is available. What else it has? Okay, some dummy contacts it has imported. Right? So a fully functional CRM application that you can use, right? Give it a spin. See how it is going. Username and password is admin. Please could you show from where I got the password from system logs? Got it. Okay. Guys, log in and play with it. Let me know how is it. right? So again, if you want to take a snapshot of this project, you can go to action, go to image and create an image. And then you can fill in these details and you can create this image. I've just created it, so I will delete it off if I don't need it. Right now, you can always go back to your AMI, and if you see here, WordPress project is available. You can launch it from here, and you can continue with the setup, or you can launch it from here. There are two ways to launch instance, and if you go to my AMI section here, the snapshot that you have created will also show up here. And if you see, your date is also here, and this is also here. You can select it from here, and you can continue to launch. Right, just do next, fill in the information, add storage, next, and you can launch. So both the options are available, right? So make sure that you create snapshots and you keep it to your projects, right? The projects that you have worked. Now let's go back and understand Windows also a little bit. I think there's something wrong with this machine. It's an old machine. I'll delete it off. This is the new machine that I have here that I created. Hopefully the new machine will work. Yes, it is working. Choose a file. And again, this time, unlike like Linux where you have to select .ppk extension where you need a private key to log in, for Windows you don't need to use that because you usually don't convert it. So you can directly give your original key, your PEM key, and it'll do the magic for you. So it has already decrypted it. Let me copy this and move it to a notepad. Close. Copy and ADMINISTRATOR connect, and then paste it and then login. I think my Windows machine is ready, right? Now there are four aspects of this Windows machine that I wanted to cover, could not be covered in my previous lecture. So what are those four aspects, right? The four aspects of any infrastructure is CPU, RAM, storage, network, right? So what is these aspects and what is the instance life cycle? So you should have control and flexibility both at the same time to decrease or increase the configuration in all four categories. You should be able to increase or decrease CPU. You should be able to increase and decrease your storage network, right? So let's understand how you can do this one at a time, right? So we'll start with storage. How will we know that the username is administrator? Reply if people repeat it, please. Okay, what you want me to repeat? Okay, Saddam, the answer is it's pretty simple. How do I know? You go to action, you click on get Windows password. You choose your key here, decrypt, and it is telling you the username is administrator. Zohrul, what you want me to repeat? Right. Okay, so we were talking about storage, right? So what happened is while creating this machine, if we go to computer, I have given only 30 GB drive and therefore it is 30 GB here, right? If I would have known that I'm supposed to give 50 GB or 100 GB or 200 GB, I could have given this even before creating a machine. On the fourth screen, on the fourth screen, I have a storage option where I can choose a storage that I would like to allocate. But now it is too late because the machine is created, right? So how would you give or how would you add or subtract the configuration in the running machine? So watch this step carefully. My machines are running right now, and I'm gonna add or extend the volume. Point number one in the running machine. And second thing is I'm gonna do this to a root volume, right? So let me show it to you. So this is the machine that I'm working. All of the machines are terminated right now, right? So I can only see a machine here, but I cannot see a storage. So where the storage is, it is right here under volume section on the left hand side. Now if I go to volume, and if you see I have 30 GB. Now if I want to extend this to more, all I have to do is go to actions, click on modify, and from 30 I can make 40. Now imagine if I do 29, what will happen? It says the size of the volume can only be increased, cannot be decreased. So that means you can go to 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, but you cannot come back from 70 to 79, 78, 70, sorry, 69, 68, 67. You cannot come back. You can only go up. So let me make this 40. Modify. And if you see here, I have 40 GB. Now all I have to do is go back and refresh here, and I will have 40 GB. Okay, it is not refreshing. Let me troubleshoot. Right click over here, disk management, action, refresh. Okay, so it is hiding here. So all I have to do is right click, extend, next, next again, finish. Now it has become 40 GB. And if I refresh now, see 39.9. So I have now extended my root volume even when my operating system was running without affecting an operating system itself, right? Now in an event where your developer will come back and say, hey, you gave me C drive, great, you extended C drive, great, but I don't want that. Now shrink it back. I'm sorry guys, you're out of luck, you cannot shrink it back, right? But if your developer says, hey, give me a D drive or E drive or X drive, give me some other drive than the root volume, right? How do you add a second drive? Minimize this. The first thumb rule is you have to see where you have created your machine. You created your machine in AP-South 1. It is the first availability zone in Mumbai. So this thing you need to remember. Click on create a volume. I will say 10 GB, and I want to put this in first availability zone, and that's it. right? And the 10 GB volume is available. And if you see, this is also in first availability zone, and your second volume is also in the first availability zone. So with that said, I'll go to actions now and I will attach this. I'll attach this to a running machine, and in this case, the Windows machine that I have here, and then attach. It is not showing up here because it is showing up here. I'm gonna make this offline device online. Initiate disk. New drive letter. Next. Next again. Mm, I'm gonna make this X drive. Next again. That's it. You have your X drive here. Right? Write some file here. Mm, right. I'll write something. Something. I will save the file. Right. Now remember, I have this data in my D drive. Sorry, X drive. If I open my X drive, I have my data here. Now what I'm trying to demonstrate is I'm going to disassociate or remove this volume from my running machine. Yes, detach. Now if I refresh, it is detaching right now. Now if I go back and check, my volume is gone from here. And if you see, I don't have my, if I try to access, hopefully it doesn't work. So it says the system path could not be specified. And if I go back and check, I don't have that. My X drive is gone now, but my data is there. So what will happen to my data? Let's evaluate that. I'll attach it back. Now I have attached it. If I go back here, I don't need to format because it was already formatted before detaching. If I double click, I have my data right here intact. And if I open my data is reflecting. So what I wanted to sell here is, even if you detach and if you attach to another running machine, and if you have your data will be intact. Nothing will happen to it. Are we clear? Yes, 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 no, maybe. Very good. Right. So this is one use case that I wanted to show you with storage. All right. So here you can extend, or add new volume. Right. You can extend or you can add or remove new volume. Here I'm going to show you how do you add another network card. Right. So if I go to instance here, and if I select my instance, if I come down, if you see, I have one network card, ETH0. And if you see, I have only one private IP address. So I want to add a second IP, and I also want to add a second Ethernet port here. So now to do that, I'll go to network interface right here. And the same concept is applicable here. This has to match the availability zone in which your machine is running. In the same availability zone, you have to create a network card. Create a new network. It should be in subnet 1A, right? And the security group that I gave while creating this machine was second Linux project. So I have my second network card here, right? So before I could attach, let's check in the Windows machine also. Okay, so here also you see only one IP address you have, 172.31.17.33. And if you see on the right hand side, 172.31.17.33. And if you go back here, 171.31.17.33. So only one I have. So now let me add it. Network interface, attach to this machine. Now, if you go back and check, now I have two IP addresses. Previously I had one, now I have two. Likewise, if you see, now I have two network interfaces, ETH0 and ETH1. And if I go back into IP config again, now I have two private IPs. This is the new one. 17.33 was old one. This is the new one, right? 30.20, hence 30.20. Are you with me? So this is how you can add another network card. You cannot increase or decrease the speed because you don't have control over it. If I go to launch instance and if I select any machine, based on the instance type that you select, the network is pre-configured here. So you cannot increase and say, hey, give me a 25 gigabyte or 10 gigabit port. You cannot do that. Maximum what you can do is you can add two ports so that you can have active, 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 passive use case that we're looking at. Are we clear? Now in the third use case, right, add a network here. So another use case, these two goes hand in hand. You cannot add or remove them separately. They have to be done together, right? So you cannot do this while the machine is running. You can only add or extend your storage, or you can add network cards while your machine is running. But if you want to increase or decrease your CPU or RAM, you have to shut down your computer. So right now I am into T2 micro stage. Let me shut down this machine. So machine is stopping. Just give me a moment. Still stopping. Now this is stopped. Action. And you see this option here, change the instance type. So click on change instance type. Now you can downgrade this to nano or you can upgrade this to small. But remember, whether you downgrade to nano or you move to small, you will be outside free tier and Amazon will charge you. How much? Hardly 1 or 2 rupees, because you're not going to run this for the whole month. You're going to hardly run this for 5-10 minutes. You're going to run it for less than 1 hour. So I'm going to make it small and I'm going to apply this. Now the T2 micro machine has become small. Everything else is T2 micro but except this. So in one go, I have increased CPU and memory. Now let me bring it back up.
Hi Adnan, can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Uh, while the machine is shut down, actually, suppose actually that machine has crashed, and I would like to detach that network card and attach to some of the other running Windows machines. So, would it possible?
Yeah. You can not only detach and attach network card, you can also detach and attach storage. So
Okay,
that means if
okay,
your machine is crashed, you can launch
yeah,
another Windows machine. You
yeah,
can detach the storage from here, attach it to another Windows machine, and you can recover your data. And the same thing is applicable for Linux also.
okay. No, I mean, partially the when the IP address is fixed, actually, it's pointed to the specific IP address. Then
Hmm.
we need to be have a same IP or MAC address, and then the application will work.
That's okay. Then you can attach a static IP address. By default, you get dynamic. So I
Yeah,
will show you how do you attach a static IP address. On the left-hand side, you see a section called Elastic IP, which
yeah,
is also known as static IP. So you click on the static IP address and say allocate a new address. Amazon will give you a random IP address. So once you have this IP address you can attach it to your original machine. If your machine is crashed, you can take this IP and give it to a follow-up machine, right? So then your IP address will also be same. So let me attach it. Associate address, associate with network interface. This is the second interface. This will be the first interface. Associate. That's it. Now if I go back, I've literally hard coded this IP. So any application that I build, if I hard code with this IP, later when I change my server also, all I have to do is remove this IP from here and give
yeah,
it to the new server. How do you do it? Pretty simple here. You
yes.
just go
Let's do
back here and then you say disassociate address and it'll remove it from that machine. Are you with me?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me log in and let me show you that the CPU and memory has increased. Um, and by the way, remember your IP address is free. Your IP address is free as long as you're connecting this to a running machine, right? If your machine is shut down or terminated and you're holding on to IP, Amazon will charge you $1 per month. But I will show you how do you delete or how do you remove the IP address once this lab is done. Mm, properties. And there you go. You have 2 GB RAM here, right? From 1 GB it has become 2 GB. And if you see on the right hand side also, it says it is T2 small and it has 2 GB RAM. So this is how you can upgrade or downgrade your machine, right? So now, in case the IP address that you have right now, let's say that you have terminated this machine, right? So it will give you an option, hey, there's an IP address associated with that. Do you want to remove it? Now let's say you have forgotten this. You instead of checking this, you have not checked, you have terminated your instance, right? So give it a minute. Once the machine is terminated, I will show you how do you remove the IP address. It is shutting down. Are you guys are with me? Can we define user defined IP? When machine and SG is different. Yeah, your security group is different. Your Windows machine is different. That is correct. Um, Windows machine is different. Security group is different. What you want me to show you, Praveen? Can we define user defined IP? Saddam, I'm not understanding your question, Saddam. If you're saying that can I do a custom IP, the answer is yes, you can, but that is only private IP, right? You can have 10.1.2.3, something like that you can have. That I will show you in your VPC class. But
Uh,
public IP address you cannot.
for storage attach and detach, can you please show me?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I terminated my instance right now, but anyways, I'll show it to you. So if you go to volume here, all you have to do is go to action, and you have an option called attach volume. So you click on attach volume, and if you click here, right, you can select the machine. Right now it says no machine is running because I've terminated, but if your machine is running, it will show up here. You just have to select and you have to attach it. And if you
Yeah,
want to
okay.
detach, it's the same way. Attach, detach, modify, create snapshot, everything is available. In fact, you can come and delete also from here. It'll delete the
Okay.
volume. So likewise, I was talking about the IP address. If I go back to my IP is just laying idle here. I can go to action and I can say release address. Oof, my IP is gone. So likewise, my network interface also that I have attached, right? My machine is deleted, so it has auto detach itself. All you have to do is go and delete it. It's gone.
And one more thing, we can for using private IP, you can communicate from outside network.
Yes, you can by setting
Okay.
up a VPN. I will show you that in the VPC class where I'll build a public network, I'll build a private network, I'll build a VPN tunnel, and I will tunnel from my laptop to the AWS server over a private IP.
Okay. But no, without VPN, we are unable to putty now.
Obviously, you cannot log in. So in your home, you have your home network you have, and you have your laptop, and your laptop has a private IP. Can I connect to your laptop now from here?
No. Yeah.
Obviously,
Okay.
but if you set up a VPN from your laptop to my laptop, I can connect it over a private IP also.
Okay. But public IP, that's a different case. You can connect from outside, no, without VPN.
Yep, public IP. I just launched two websites. I
Yeah.
created a
Yeah.
WordPress page and I
Yeah.
created a CRM, and you guys could access it.
Yeah. Okay. And one more thing, if you create one for private IP, if you create one VPN, means it is same for all the instance and only for one instance.
It's same for the network. So whatever machines that you have within the network or a given
Yeah.
subnet, one
Yeah.
VPN tunnel you can do and you can access the entire workload,
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thanks.
right? All right,
Yeah.
guys. So we will conclude today's lecture here. If you have any questions, I will take them now. Otherwise, I will upload the recording in Google Classroom. Go to the recording, do your labs, and share me the screenshots of your IP addresses, screenshots of the web servers that you have built in the WhatsApp. So if you have any questions, shoot now. Otherwise, I will let you go, guys. All right, then. Thank you for joining today's lecture. I will share you today's notes on WhatsApp, and I will see you on Thursday. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.